All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive issue. And honestly, it's one of the most expensive traps that small to medium businesses are falling into right now: selecting an enterprise resource planning system. Picking an ERP is hands down one of the most complex and high stakes decisions you can make as a business owner. But as we're going to see, the traditional way smaller businesses go about buying these systems is just fundamentally broken. We're going to break down exactly why companies are bleeding wasted capital on failed implementations, and much more importantly, how you can navigate this absolute minefield. Look at this quote because it absolutely hits the nail on the head. Fixing a broken process manually is always cheaper and more effective than trying to automate chaos with expensive software. I mean, that completely flips the script on how we usually think about tech, right? We often just assume that a shiny new software suite is going to magically fix our internal issues. But before you drop massive capital on technology, you really have to realize that forcing software onto a broken workflow is a literal recipe for disaster. If your floor operations are a mess, automating them doesn't fix anything. It just gives you automated chaos. So let's start with part one, the ERP demo trap. This is all about flashy features versus actual fit. Picture this. You're sitting in a highly polished 90-minute demo, and the vendor is totally steering the conversation, dazzling you with all these exciting individual features. That's what they're selling. But you've got to shift your focus to what your business actually needs. Because an ERP isn't about one cool feature. It's about holistic, interdepartmental connectivity across your entire business environment. If you buy based on that flashy demo without stopping to ask, wait, does this actually fit the specific workflow problems we are trying to solve? Well, you just end up buying a bunch of isolated features. You completely miss out on the connectivity your business actually needs to survive. Moving on to section 2, and this one definitely hurts the wallet. Uncovering hidden ERP costs, or as I call it, the agitation of the upsell. To truly understand your investment, you absolutely have to calculate the total cost of ownership, TCO. You need to memorize this term. It forces a complete mindset shift from simply buying an off-the-shelf product to making a major long-term operational commitment. The licensing fee you see on day one, that is literally just the tip of the iceberg. If you don't calculate the total cost of ownership upfront, you are signing a deal you don't fully understand, and that can quickly turn into a long-term financial anchor dragging down your business growth. So, what exactly goes into that total cost of ownership? Well, it's a massive laundry list of creeping expenses. We're talking implementation fees, one-time setup charges, and the inevitable customization costs. Because, let's be real, no software fits perfectly out of the box. Then you have to factor in employee training, the maintenance differences between cloud and on-premise hosting, and all those internal team hours and consultant fees required just to get the thing running. Keep in mind, vendors are financially incentivized to sell you their full suite of modules, whether your specific manufacturing or service business actually needs them or not. If you aren't super careful here, you're going to end up paying for a massive chunk of software you aren't even using. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you see a proposal, and you sign a deal based on 50 users. It looks manageable enough at 50, right? But what happens when your business takes off? You grow, you hire, and suddenly you need 100 users. Because these contracts are strictly deal-based and tied to per-user metrics, your costs don't just inch up, they jump exponentially. That initial proposal number is a total illusion if you haven't planned ahead for your own growth. So, how do we survive this? That brings us to section 3, why vendor neutrality matters and finding the right guide. You need to ask yourself a really uncomfortable question right now. Is your software advisor getting a commission from the vendor? Seriously, ask it. Because if the person advising you gets a kickback for recommending a specific piece of software, you are not getting objective advice. You are getting a sales pitch. When you walk into a room with someone whose literal job is to close a lead for a software company, their primary goal is selling that software, not necessarily solving your unique business problem. Basically, you have to stop letting the fox guard the henhouse. You absolutely must find an independent, tech-agnostic advocate. A truly vendor-neutral advisor has zero commissions and no preferred vendors. Honestly, they don't care what logo is on the box. The only outcome they care about is understanding your process first and then finding the exact piece of technology that actually serves your business. This is the only way to ensure there's no personal financial motive behind the recommendations you're staking your company's entire future on. All right, part 4, process before technology, diagnosing before prescribing. Think about it like this. Buying software based on a flashy demo is exactly like a doctor handing you a heavy prescription before they've even bothered to diagnose your symptoms. It makes zero sense.
Instead, you have to focus on diagnosing first. Document your actual flow processes. You literally cannot take a rigid software system and forcefully shove your business into it. It's like trying to cram your foot into a shoe without knowing your own shoe size. Diagnose the workflow, write it down, and only then do you go looking for the tech that fits. Now, once you know your process, you've got to look at your data. An ERP is basically the central nervous system of your company, but it is only going to work if your data is meticulously in order. The golden rule here is simple. Garbage in equals garbage out. If you feed messy, bad data into a highly expensive system, you're just going to get bad, highly automated data coming out. So before you look at a single software screen, define what success actually looks like for you. Is your ultimate goal to save time, make delivery faster, or maybe you desperately need inventory visibility because you just don't know where things are coming in or going out? Figure out that ultimate goal first. Which brings us to our final piece. Section 5. The 5D implementation framework. This is your actionable blueprint. So, this 5D framework is your step-by-step methodology. And trust me, we have seen companies attempt what they thought was a 3-month ERP implementation, only to find the project still limping along 3 years later because of poor planning. To avoid that, you follow these 5 steps. 1. Discover the current issues and what is actually broken in your history. 2. Define what your real current processes are on the floor. 3. Design the new optimized workflows manually. 4. Only then deliver the technology solution that fits that specific design. And 5. Drive growth by tightening up that newly automated process. This framework is what ensures that technology serves your business rather than your business serving the technology. I want to leave you with this one incredibly powerful thought from the experts. You don't have an ERP problem. You have a process problem. It might be a visibility problem, it might be a growth problem, but before you blame the software or go looking for the next flashy tech upgrade, take a really long, hard look inward. What hidden process failures is your business masking with software right now? Find them, fix them, and take control of your growth.